Welcome to day 19 of Vlogaween. Welcome, spooklings. As promised, today we will be announcing the giveaway winner. And drumroll please, Tiffany is the winner of the Captain of the Bad t-shirt giveaway. In today's video, we will be discussing the history of Halloween. Halloween was a tradition that originated with ancient Catholic festival, Samhain, I believe is how you say it, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory designated November 1st as a time to honor All Saints. Soon, All Saints Day incorporated traditions from that Celtic tradition that I don't think I said correctly, so I'm not going to say it again. The evening before was known as All Hallows Eve. And later, Halloween, over time, evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, bombing for apples, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and eating treats. The Celtic festival that Halloween dates back to is pronounced Samhain. The Celts who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. Celts believed on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and dead became blurred, which is still, or Halloween is still sort of delved that today. When the New World began, Halloween was very limited in colonial New England because of the rigid Protestant beliefs and how religious everything was. Halloween was much more common in Maryland and in the more southern colonies. Once all of the ideas that we had from when we were Europeans, and then we brought those over as immigrants to the New World, and then all of the ideas we were getting from the Native American Indians meshed, we started creating our American Halloween. Colonial Halloween festivities consisted of telling ghost stories and mischief-making of all kinds. By the middle of the 19th century, annual autumn festivities were average and normal, but Halloween was still not celebrated throughout the country. In the second half of the 19th century, there was a flood of immigration, especially a lot of Irish immigrants coming over from the potato famine. Fun fact, that's when my ancestors from Ireland came over from Ireland. We helped the popularization of Halloween. Trick-or-treating was borrowed from European traditions. Americans began to dress up, go from house to house asking for money or food, which slowly evolved into today's tradition of trick-or-treating. In the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday. More about community get-togethers, Halloween parties, than about ghost pranks and witchcraft. Halloween parties for both children and adults became the more of the norm way to celebrate Halloween parties. If 2020 was not 2020, I would be hosting my big Halloween bash I always host. Halloween parties. By the mid-1920s and 30s, Halloween parties became a secular event in America for the Halloween season. Due to vandalism, it put a harp on the holiday because hoodlums were vandalizing things, and so by the 1950s, community leaders had gotten a handle on the vandalism. Halloween was more for younger kids. Mainly it was just trick-or-treating by that point. And those big community Halloween parties moved from big civic centers into classrooms and homes. Went from your big parties to your smaller, intimate Halloween parties. 1920 and 1950, the centuries-old practice of trick-or-treating was also revived because this was an inexpensive way for the whole community to participate and celebrate the holiday because, one, you didn't have to pay and provide everything to host your own Halloween party. Two, you were preventing your house from getting vandalized or egged or toilet papered by giving candy out to the kids in your neighborhood. Thus, a new American tradition was born and continues to this day. On average, Americans spend $6 billion annually on Halloween trick-or-treat candy, making it the country's second most commercial holiday after Christmas. Our ghosts and monsters today are typically depicted as more gruesome and fearsome. I think that is a lot to the horror movies of the day. Funny fact, back when, in the old days of Halloween, people theorized that witches averted detection and discovery by turning themselves into black cats. A lot of Halloween revolves around superstition, black cats, and we don't like black cats crossing our path, and we don't walk under ladders. A lot of that is from the Egyptians, who believed that triangles were sacred. It may also be that walking under a leaning ladder is just not a smart idea, and especially around Halloween, we avoid stepping on cracks, spilling salt, breaking mirrors. You don't want 7 years of bad luck. No one does. We already have 2020. So this was an old Halloween tradition I was not aware of. I didn't know that matchmaking was a big thing in the old days of Halloween. In Scotland, fortune tellers, refer to my notes, fortune tellers recommended that an eligible young woman name a hazelnut for each of her suitors and then toss the nuts into the fireplace. The nut that burned to ashes rather than popping or exploding, the story went, represented the girl's future husband. Interesting. Other rituals were the first guest to find a burr on a chestnut hunt would be the first to marry. It's very interesting. I didn't even know that Halloween matchmaking was a thing. So have you ever wondered why we carve out pumpkins and create jack-o'-lanterns? Well, that goes back to the Samhain festival, the Celtic festival, where they would decorate their homes to ward off bad spirits. The term jack-o'-lantern is believed to have come from the folk story of Stingy Jack, who tricked the devil into buying him a drink. Because of this, when he died, he wasn't allowed into heaven or hell, but instead was trapped by the devil, instead a burning ember, which was kept inside a turnip. I hope this was an interesting educational content for you today, as we learned a little bit more about the history of Halloween and why we do some of the Halloween traditions that we do. I want to take a moment to thank very much my 40 YouTube subscribers that have joined me throughout this whole Vlogaween journey, and I hope you will continue with me for the rest of the Vlogaween journey, because it's only day 19. We have 12 days left into Halloween. And then do not fret, once Vlogaween is over, there is 100% going to be Vlogmas, and I am thinking about doing Vlogsgiving. So I hope you all continue on this journey with me. I thank you all for being on this journey with me so far. There's more giveaways to come in the future. Some more spooky Halloween content surprises are coming. I have some spooky things planned. Keep watching. There's some more stuff in the work for just regular DQB Productions channel content. As always, keep spooking. Bye.